I'm here to show you a couple key features, or the main key features to Mobiletech shade and the idea behind it. So every Mobiletech shade is hand-built by the same gentleman that has built every single one since its inception. These are made with galvanized steel tubing and cold-rolled steel end tabs here on a hot-rolled steel base. And what that does, this combination of steels, creates a metal gall or galling between the galvanized steel and the cold-rolled steel to not wear out, but to give you super long life where you can find that sweet spot once you break this in, and it literally will never wear out. It will give you the tension that you need to be able to just grab this and move it at any given time. So let me go ahead and walk through a couple different things that I want to highlight to you about the Mobiletech shade. First is break-in. So the break-in period of the Mobiletech shade usually will take anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes. Now keep in mind, the longer you take to break this in and wear in these two surfaces of the galvanized steel to the cold rolled steel, it will work that much better right off the bat. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and tension this a little bit and move this and position this and pivot it from side to side. And what this will do is this will break off the paint between those two surfaces, and you'll start feeling it get loose again. But you see how I'm going all the way from side to side as I break this in. Then I'll tension it a little bit more. And all you're doing is creating a surface that you're going to be using with your Mobiletech shade for years to come. So don't be shy. Break this thing in right. You don't have to worry about breaking it. You don't have to worry about doing this too much, because honestly, this is what is going to make this work. The metal in between almost becomes like glass. It's super perfect between these two sections here. So I'm going to continue to do this. You can see how much tension this thing has on it. And you might even need to do this just a little bit more. Yeah. Now it's starting to really grab. So that's how you break in your Mobiletech shade. Now with the break-in of your Mobiletech shade complete, you're ready to use it. So with it all broken in and not having to move the key, you pull it out of your car, you move it where you want to, and you suction cup it right to the car. Then with one hand, you can move it where you want to and it will stay. So let me give you an example. I've seen that the sun is at 3 o'clock and I need the umbrella to be at a specific angle. So I'll move this like this. I'll have this put on the car just like this. And then if I need a little bit more adjustment, I'll move it where I want. Here's another great thing about the Mobiletech shade. Once you are working on the car, if you're having to spend 2-3 hours on this Dent, as you're working on the car, sometimes your shade preference needs to change. Well, I know myself, when I'm down on a car and I'm working on it, I don't want to have to get up and adjust something. I literally move it and it stays. All right, the quick clips. The quick clips were designed to be able to push, pull out, and you can release the extension on the Mobiletech shade. This is so that you can put your umbrella on the single extension, which is how I use mine 99% of the time. Or with other situations that you might need the extension on to have a little bit further distance between the umbrella and yourself and where you mount it, you can put the extension on. Putting the clip back in is putting it in upside down, just like that, pushing it down and it holds. Let's talk about the Mobiletech shade umbrella. So each individual umbrella is worked through where I put a special protective sleeve that reinforces the base of every umbrella that I sell. The material that's used on this is a very, very thick dual canopy design And as you can see, all my umbrellas have the silver top coat on them. What I've seen is upwards of 40-degree differences on super hot days on the automobile surface because of the silver on the top reflecting the sun away from you. Another thing that I wanted to point out about the umbrellas that I sell for Mobiletech Shade is the dual reinforced ribs. There's 2 ribs per backbone of the Mobiletech Shade umbrella, as well as on the whole structure of the Mobiletech Shade umbrella. So this makes for a super strong dual canopy, wind resistant, rain resistant umbrella. I'll tell you, these things are strong. And another key feature of the umbrella here is the center key. As you can tell, there is no shark tooth, there is no metal string in here, and there is no piece of plastic sticking out. It's an actual sleeve that the whole center key locks onto and stays. Super, super sturdy umbrella. I've had guys 4.5 years using this umbrella, still telling me that it works just like the day they bought it. So you're ready to put this bad boy to work. And what I do is, again, I use mine at single extension most of the time. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and take the first clip out, take the extension, the machined extension out here, put this underneath my arm. You can see where I've drilled the small pilot holes on the umbrella itself to match up with the ones on the base stand here. And it's as simple as putting it in, lining those up, again putting your clip upside down, just like that. Making sure that your clip goes all the way through to the other side, and then just clipping it down. Now your Mobiletech Shade is ready to use at single extension. So let me show you how I use mine at single extension. So what I'll do is, again, I'll judge where I want my unit to be on the car. I'll move it where I want it to be. I'll come over here and I'll place it on the panel of the vehicle. And then I can move it where I want it to be. Now, if I need a little more tension, I can just tension it just like this because I have broken it in. Now it's ready to use. Every once in a while your Mobiletech Shade is still breaking in, you might need to use a little tool just to give it that extra little oomph to keep it just at the right tension that you want it. But, you know, go through and feel where it has the most tension. This one here has a little bit of give to it. So what I'll do is I'll even take one of my punches here. I'll give it just one little tighten, and now it's perfect. So again, I'm working on a car, sun's here. I'm working like this on the car, and I start noticing that the sun starts diving down, or where I had placed it originally wasn't right. I can literally move it and it'll stay. I don't need to adjust it every time I go to move it. It will stay every time. And again, you can mess with the tension on this, get it just to where you like it. You can tighten it down. You can lock this all the way down to where it doesn't move. But the reason why I don't lock this all the way down is if a gust of wind comes and hits this, it will damage the car. This one here will talk to you. It'll do this. It'll move a little bit. When it's doing that because of too high a wind, that's when you grab the paracord tie-down system. You place the leather ring on the top side of the umbrella right here. With that said, now there are 3 pieces of paracord. If the wind's coming from this direction here, a lot of times all it takes is taking that one piece of paracord and tying it around a mirror or tying it around a rim or something that's going to hold this so it doesn't move this way. But it also keeps the umbrella from doing this as you're working. I like to have my stuff nice and still so I can see what I'm doing. I'm not having to concentrate on the umbrella or worry about maybe it might overfold or something like that. But again, even if it does overfold, these umbrellas are perfectly fine to flop right back over and use them still. So you have a dent that's on a fender or on a door. The sun is at 3 o'clock. You know, it's beating right on the side of you. It's literally pointing right at the side of the door. If you were to put this on the roof of the car, you would only have about this much distance between the umbrella and yourself. Not the ideal working condition. So being as big as I am, I had to have something that was going to give me more space between the car and the area that I was working and the top side of the umbrella. So I'm going to show you what we do here is I take this, I push down on the clip, it releases, I pull it, pull the umbrella out, I grab my extension, I'll put my clip back in, make sure it went all the way through, clip it back down, and follow the same thing to put the umbrella on the extension. You line the holes up, put your umbrella inside here like this, take your clip, put it upside down, make sure it goes all the way through to the other side. There we go. So now you've got your extended Mobiletech shade. So now again, having close to 2.5, 3 feet between where the suction cup mounts and the top side of the umbrella is huge for working on fenders. Let's say the car has an aluminum hood. You really don't want to place a suction cup on an aluminum hood with any type of weight to it because you might make a wave in the hood. It's perfectly fine. The Mobiletech shade's long enough to where you could place this on the window and have this draped all the way across over your shoulder, and I've got all this extra room in between me and the back side or the underside of the umbrella to work. Now, of course, more tension is needed on the base for the extension being on here with the umbrella in it. So what I'll do again is, how many dent guys or mechanics or HVAC people don't have something in their pocket to one-time adjust something because they don't have to adjust it every time? So what I'll do is I'll literally tighten this down a little bit more, give it some more tension, and now when I place it on the vehicle, it'll hold. And then it still has the same movement. And I mean, this thing's tension. I actually am holding the suction cup as I move it here, but you can see it still has the same action of the set it and forget it. You can tension this down just where you like it, and it will stay. And now, you can see this is how it works. Just like that. Just like that. So getting this to its sweet spot is one of the main key things to do when you first open up your Mobiletech shade package and break it out of the box. You want to make sure that the tension on this is great. I've even seen sometimes, you know, it might take a good 2-3 uses of finding that sweet spot on the big extension or on the extra extension rather than the single, where it'll really make that surface perfect between these 3 points, the pole and these 2 tabs right here. So don't be shy. Don't worry about wearing it out. You won't wear it out. I have units that I still use to this day that are 5 years old that I started with, and they work just like the day. In fact, actually better than when I first started. That was the whole idea, was creating a product for the technicians that worked with them and gave them easy use and shade for when they're doing their work. So this video was basically to explain how I use my Mobiletech shade. I'm going to run through everything that I've just made a video on, all the different features real quick in a quick 30 seconds. So the Mobiletech shade is able to be moved without adjusting it. You simply move it and it stays. This creates faster times working on cars, not having to get up and break your concentration while you're working on a car. Just simply grab it and move it, okay? Second of all, once you have finished using your Mobiletech shade, you go to put it into your vehicle, and then the next time you go to use it, you don't have to grab something and loosen this and adjust everything for you. You simply evaluate the vehicle that you're going to work on, your shade situation, and you can move this exactly where you need. Be rough with it. Move it right where you need it to be. Put it on the car, suction cup it, and now you can move it. Thirdly, with the extension on it, it will need more tension than with the single extension, of course. You have more length to the umbrella, and you want to make sure that you adjust accordingly. If in fact you need a little bit more tension on this, you can simply use anything to use on this key here to give it that sweet spot that you need. But break in, when you first receive your Mobiletech shade and break it out of the box, is essential. The longer you break it in, if you break it in for 10 minutes, it will be that much better than 5 minutes. So don't be shy when you first go to break this in. Break it in and beat it up and put it through its paces, and this will last you for years. Big note on this is I use this mainly on single extension, just for ease of use, for the fact that I can have a little less tension on the pivot point here, to use it just like I like, a lot more wind resistance. But if in fact the umbrella starts to move, it's telling you that you need your paracord tie-down system. The paracord tie-down system is sold separately, usually through the year. I do have some specials where it's included with the unit. But if you have the paracord tie-down system, it was made for the Mobiletech shade. It was made to hold this from moving back and forth in the wind. Not necessarily because it couldn't stand the wind. It's made for holding the umbrella so it does not move in the wind. You're on top of a car, on a roof, using the Mobiletech shade. You want to make sure that you have a completely steel unit, completely steel tool when you're working on top of a car or working on the side of a car, so that the suction cup doesn't damage the paint. Last but not least, the Trojan slipcover. The Trojan slipcover, which I sold all of them at Mobiletech Expo, and I'm waiting for my guy to come and bring me more, which should be here tomorrow. But the Trojan slipcover is an added value to not scratch cars. The Mobiletech shade already, how it lays across when the umbrella is open, and it lays across a hood, nothing touches. You can see I've made it to where if it's at a pivot point, and where it is, nothing touches the car. Well, every once in a while you'll be working on a rear glass, and you're working on a deck lid, you accidentally pop the trunk. It has an automatic spring that pops open the trunk. If you don't have anything on here, there's a chance that this pole could chip the paint. So what I've done is I've created a slip cover that goes over a 3 mil neoprene, marine grade scuba neoprene. And it's this cover that goes over the top of everything, all the way to the base. So it covers the key too here to where you don't need to adjust it. So that slip cover goes all the way on here, and it can be used on single or this regular extension here, and slide it right down the pole over the base here, and it will protect it to where you can literally throw this onto a car and it will not scratch anything. So if you are lucky enough to have the Trojan cover as well as the paracord tie down and one of our new cups as well, the Sea Sucker cups, I'm telling you, you have the absolute best of everything I sell. Thanks again for watching.